Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. There's a bit of construction going on outside of my place, but hopefully it won't be too disruptive. Today I want to talk a little bit about earning money as an INFP, which is actually a big one on my checklist. Statistics saying that INFPs really come to the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to earning money out of all the MBTI types. I'm pretty sure that statistically speaking, we're actually the last place in this respect. Now, I can see where that's coming from given our free-spirited lifestyle and our introversion. You know, that's mainly causing most of the friction when it comes to climbing that social ladder or the earning ladder, if you will. So in most corporate settings, the people who rake in the most money would either be, other than the CEO, would be the managers, the team leaders, the sales reps, I think. So, but what with our introversion, it's really a pain in the ass for us to lead a team. Now, I have accidentally become a team leader, not really out of my own will, but it was sort of like a situation where I found myself in naturally due to the sort of restructuring of our team back when I was in a cram school. I found it to be fun if I was able to get my message across in full. But if I was forced to do it half-heartedly, for example, if I don't have enough time, for example, or if the person that I was trying to support or supervise wasn't really ready to take all of that information in or was getting defensive per se, then it's going to be a pretty much a deal breaker for us INFPs. It's really frustrating to see that happen because we are so well intentioned, and I wouldn't say break my heart, but I would say it's just really such a waste of time looking back if I had that happening, in my term in that position. Okay, I got a little sidetracked over here, but so, I don't see myself as a long-term team leader, and therefore that's sort of out of the equation. But then if you talk about the sales reps, they do rake in a lot of money, but it's a very draining job. So I really don't see myself doing that as well. I'm going to talk a bit about, I think this is going to get a bit lengthy because I'm going to go over the course of my career and how I've earned money. Yeah, but I think it's, we got to be really practical when it comes to earning money because it's a big deal in our lives. I mean, no matter what kind of dreams you have, no matter what lifestyles you want to lead, you got to be able to rake in that money before you can do anything. Okay, so I actually find myself having sort of like a split personality where I'm very free-spirited in life, but when it comes to money and, but the materialistic side of the equation, I get all pumped up and I'm really un-INFP-like in that respect. I'm just sharing randomly, but my first job after graduating was being a secretary, and now I was really confused as to what I really wanted, and I had a long time going through what I didn't like as opposed to what I liked. So it took me about 3 to 4 years, and you can refer to the other video that I made about my career so far. And I found myself to be living on mediocre earnings and nothing that I'm proud of. Like you get the paycheck that day and you're like, okay, here's another paycheck, but so what? It doesn't mean much to you. So it wasn't until I found my true passion as a teacher that I found my paychecks to started weighing more, sitting there in the bank account whenever I receive the paycheck. And, to me, it's no longer a figure, but it's something that proves my ability and where my passion really lies in and how it could build up, and I could really see a career out of that. So it feels really different just receiving the paycheck as you come to find your true passion. I'm not going to go into the details of how to find your true passion. You can refer to my other video in this respect. But there is really this hockey stick curve that you can see the earnings growing exponentially, and I'll actually make a graph, and it's over here, for my earnings throughout the years. Now, while that may not look super impressive to an ENTJ or an ESTJ, it certainly is for me. I'm a big fan of creating milestones and setting a plan for how things should be carried out. You know, one thing that really hit me was I was in this course about target making, and the speaker was talking about how we should set our goals. Your list at the beginning of the year is not really a valid list until you put down a time or a specific date where you want it completed. I started trying that method, and I'm a big fan of spreadsheets as well. So when it comes to making money, I remembered I started out with a goal that was probably 20 or 30% higher than what I would normally have achieved. And I would, start with red colors throughout the spreadsheet so that I can see how far off I am from my target. And then as I achieve that target, or if I go beyond that target, the colors would turn blue or black. So it's sort of like a color-coded dream board, if you will. So INFP is all about harmony, right? So if something's not harmonious with the colors, then it's, I'm sort of mixing that into the equation and sort of like trying to hypnotize my way into earning more. And it actually worked. So I found myself to be able to, squeeze in that much more effort in hitting my targets. Sometimes I go even beyond that target, and I see myself actually being able to realize my visions. Sometimes during Chinese New Year, I would go back, meet my relatives, and how Asian relatives are always talking about money, and money. If they hear me talking about my career as an English teacher, they would say, oh, I know this English teacher, and he's making like $1,000 or $2,000 Newton dollars in an hour. And I remember saying to myself then, I'm like, I'm going to do that. So back then I wasn't earning that much per hour, but now I can easily say that, yeah, I can charge, that amount if I wanted to. So yeah, I think setting targets is, as cliche as it may sound, very important, but setting a target with a date is the most crucial. And that's where I see the magic happening and that the actual change is actually taking place. Now, I think that another very big obstacle for INFPs is this need to sort of prove ourselves, and it's not an internal need. It's sort of what's sort of imposed on us by the society and by expectations coming from family members, for example. We have this need to have or lead a very free-spirited lifestyle, and yet we don't, we start out really struggling how to meet that lifestyle financially. And, if you have really successful family members, then it's a lot of pressure on you. And I get that. I'm not saying, there are no struggles for me, because I've been through it all. And, I have been so crushed to the point where, I've just come home. There was a point when, when I was going in between jobs, I eventually went for a job in a foreign-owned company in Taiwan, and it really was shattering for me in a way that corporate, your 9-to-5 jobs are shattering to most INFPs. And yes, it's all in that other video. So, sorry for giving you too much information, but I literally had blood in my pee that time because I was overworking to the point where I keep forgetting to go to the loo. And so, that's a big red flag for me. And I thought, I was getting the paycheck, and I think one thing that you really need to notice is that a difference of, say, 10,000, now for me, the currency is Newton dollars, but a difference in paycheck is never proportional to the difference in the amount of work that you have to put in a corporate setting. Do you know what I mean? So if you're going from a job that's going to give you, say, this much, okay, because I don't know the difference in between. I'm too lazy to calculate the difference in currencies. I don't know where you're all from, but if you're getting this much in job A and you're offered another job that grants you this much in job B, the difference in effort that you have to put in is definitely not just that much, you know? So being able to really love what you do is so important. I just cannot stress that enough. Okay. I was so desperate at one point where I actually was involved in multi-level marketing. Now, a lot of people hate the sound of that, but I was proud, and I still am proud to be able to say that I've learned a lot from that phase. It was about 2 years. A friend of mine actually got me involved in that respect, and I was proud to say that I didn't lose any friends because of that, because I had my moral standards when it comes to, even if it's multi-level marketing. But for anyone who is, actually thinking of pursuing that track, for INFPs, I really want you to think again, because although it does offer some really good perks with the lifestyle and all, it really doesn't pan out that well for INFPs. I don't know for other people, but because the kind of extroversion that is required for multi-level marketing, you need to be able to get out there and socialize with so many different not just walks of life, but sheer number of people that you have to make contact with. It's going definitely to be draining and very taxing on your physical health as well. So that was how desperate I was, just letting you know. I didn't make a penny out of that, by the way. Big warning. So as I've come to earn more as a teacher, I am now, and what with the pandemic, I transferred to an online company where we set out to teach online courses since the very beginning. So the company had its mindset on online courses, and they saw that as a trend from very early on. So we weren't really hit by the pandemic. In fact, our business grew sort of exponentially throughout the pandemic. Not that it's a good thing, I'm not saying COVID-19 is a good thing, but it seriously is good food for thought about, how we can profit from the online digital nomadic sort of lifestyle that I'm sure a lot of INFPs are very, very much interested in. But yeah, so I mainly teach from home now, and I'm a demo teacher, meaning that it's not really my thing to teach all of the online courses per se, but I work with the sales reps in my company who rake in a lot more money than I do, but I get a closing bonus for every deal that I make. So I'm basically a teacher for the trial lessons that, if potential students are interested in our courses, they would come. They're contacted first by the sales reps, and then they would say, okay, if they're interested in having a trial lesson, then I would be the one to teach them for about 15 to 20 minutes. That's how long the demos last. And I get this closing bonus, deal closing bonus. And as much as I had my doubts on how profitable this business actually was, before coming into the company, so I was referred to my current manager by another friend of mine who used to be a sales rep in this company. And she's making, just ridiculous numbers because she's the top sales. But again, like I said, I don't think INFPs are, I don't think sales is really an INFP thing, but I found myself to be very happy in the position where I am being a demo teacher. It's challenging, it's a lucrative business, and it's I don't need to spend that much time preparing for my lessons as much. And also it's very important to build your foundation towards this point where you can sort of share the bonus with the sales reps, because I found my past experience to be very, very important and crucial for the work that I'm doing now. But now that I have more time to do what I want, because I mainly work for, a lot of people found this to be ridiculous, but I'm working a maximum 5 hours per day, okay, and sometimes 3, and I'm making more than what I used to make in a corporate setting at a cram school. And it really rings a bell, like how when you're really doing something that you're suitable for, you just attract money, and the universe, answers your call. As cliche as it may sound, it really is the case. So my students would refer more students to me, and if I feel like it, if I feel like my schedule is flexible enough, then I'll take on more students. So yeah, but now I think one of the most important aspects of this kind of lifestyle is that it opens up enough free time for me to really invest in other options.